Welcome back to the Grind, Sleep, Repeat podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about our 5 fitness non negotiables.
Yeah, these are 5 things that they're non-negotiable. We do every single day, and anybody can really do these 5 tips, depending on what your goal is. Everybody has different goals, whether they want to build strength, they want to build muscle, they want to lose body fat, they want to increase performance. No matter what your goal is, you can benefit from these 5 fitness non-negotiables that we'll go through today. So let's not waste some time. Let's hop right into it.
Yeah, remember, these are things that we are currently prioritizing for ourselves, but we want to share them with you because we do think they are very important. So, with that being said, the first one is going to be prioritizing our strength training. We're making sure that we're getting in no less than 3 days a week of strength training, and that can be split up in so many different ways, which we can kind of tap into a little bit, but that is a non-negotiable, no less than 3 days a week.
Yeah, resistance training belongs in everybody's program. No matter if your goal is to get huge and jacked or if your goal is to lose 100 pounds, you need to be strength training. There's so many studies that show that if you are incorporating resistance training into your program, even in a fat loss regimen, you're going to burn so much more fat because the more muscle mass we have, the more functional we're going to be, the better our basal metabolic rate is going to be, meaning that we're burning more calories at rest. And it just helps to strength train and resistance train. And I always say it's almost like the difference between investing money and saving money. Saving money is good. That would be like your cardio if you're trying to lose body fat, which we'll talk about later. Say that your strength training is like investing money. It compounds. And if you can burn an additional 100 to 150 calories every day because you put on 5 pounds of muscle and you've increased your metabolic rate, without having to do an additional 150 calories of cardio, over the course of time, that's going to be so huge on your overall results and your ability to maintain those results as well. Because no one wants to go to the gym, put all this hard work in, and then they go back to square one and they have to start all over. So you need to be strength training in your program. We can kind of talk about how to structure strength training. Again, this is going to be a broad kind of recommendation. We do have a form on our website. It's a free resource that you can use that if you're looking for more customization, we'll actually customize a free workout and give you a sample of what it looks like to work with us online. So if you're interested in that, the link to that is in the comments or the description below. But let's start off with a general recommendation on strength training. How should you structure your workout? What exercises should you start with? Rep ranges, all that type of stuff.
So, like you said, we offer specific goal-related training programs, but with that being said, it is going to depend on what your goals are and how experienced you are. If you're new to training, if it's something you've been doing for years. With that being said, too, there's no bad time to get started because it is going to help with the longevity and injury prevention as we start to age and things like that. But to let's just say for the average person who hasn't strength trained, maybe has in like the past, but is starting to incorporate it into their lives again, we would recommend no less than 3 days a week and splitting that up with like either full body days or upper and lower body days where we're giving our body enough time to rest and recover too in between those days because we don't want to throw too much out at once. And that causes us to be sore and achy and uncomfortable and not want to come back and do it again the next day.
Yeah, and as far as, the structure of the workout, and before I get in that, one thing that Alyssa mentioned, doing it over the course of your life, there's never a bad time to start. Like I have a client right now, he's about to turn 78, and he's been working with me for about 2 years now, and he'd never stepped foot in a gym before. And his goal, why he started strength training, he has kind of a physical labor job. He does it part-time, and he just helps with some landscaping stuff for a guy that owns a business. And he tried to hop up in a skid loader, and he couldn't step into it. He has a property and a ranch, and he was cutting some fence, and he was doing some fence posts, and he got down to a knee and he couldn't stand up. So it's those things that also are important. It's hard to think about the future sometimes down the road, but if you're strength training now, you are ahead of so many people and it's going to be so important to your longevity and your ability to function. So I just wanted to mention that before I talk about the structure. Now, with that said, when you're coming into the gym, going through a full warm up, that's super important. We've actually covered that on our other Fit Grind Formula training page. We have our full warm up that we take our clients through every single workout. Super important to decrease your risk of injury and increase your performance. But after that, what I would do is I would pick 2 to 3 compound movements that you're going to keep track of each week and that you're going to try and get stronger at. And compound meaning that they're training more than one muscle. So it's not like a bicep curl or a leg extension. We're talking about squats. We're talking about lunges. We're talking about deadlifts. We're talking about bench press,
Pull-ups.
pull-ups, overhead press, rows, all these big compound movements that are going to train a lot of muscle groups. I would pick 2 to 3. If you're doing a full body workout, I would try and pick like 1 to 2 lower body and 1 to 2 upper body. If you're doing a muscle specific split, so like a chest workout, I would try and pick maybe a barbell bench press and an incline dumbbell bench press. Those two to 3 movements, you're going to try and get stronger at and train in the 5 to 10 rep range. I think that's a good rep range to overload and focus on getting stronger. Once you finish those 2 to 3 exercises at the beginning, that's when you can start to get into accessory movements, isolation movements. Maybe you have certain muscle groups that you want to improve. You can pick different exercises that are going to target those specific muscle groups. So, like I said, if you're trying to grow your chest, after you've done a barbell bench press and an incline dumbbell bench press, you could go and do some cable flies. You could superset that with some push-ups to increase some intensity. You can start to create more sets and volumes and decrease your rest time. And there's so many variables that you can play around with. But the main thing I want to say here is don't start with isolation movements. There's a time and a place that's called pre-exhaustion training. Not that that's wrong, but for most people, most of the time, you want to stick to compound movements at the beginning, keep it heavy, try and get stronger. As the workout goes on, that's where you can start to mix in isolation movements like leg extensions, bicep curls, tricep pushdowns, lateral raises, stuff like that. That's a good way to structure the format of your workouts to make sure that you can make progress in the gym and you're not just spinning your wheels and doing the same thing over and over and over again, or you're just coming in and doing some bicep curls, but you're never really getting stronger in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, those bigger movements at the beginning of your workout are there so that you can exert most of your energy at the beginning of the workout because obvious reasons as we get through our workout, we're 45 minutes in, we are going to start to fatigue. So if we can put the most energy towards the more compound movements, the bigger muscles, then towards the end of the workout, you can do those accessory movements and go lighter weight, not necessarily like depending on your goals, but go with a lighter weight, do higher rep ranges and really focus on those maybe muscle imbalances and things like that too.
Yeah, so that's kind of our general recommendations on strength training. If you guys have more questions, you can always let us know down in the comment section below. Or if you are interested in creating a structured program and working with us in an online capacity, we do have a form also down in the description where you can go fill out a form and we could set up a time to chat more. So lots of resources and links down in the description. Go check that out after you're done listening to the podcast today. Let's talk about our second non-negotiable. This one is all about cardio. You have to be doing cardio in your program. It's a non-negotiable. Don't be one of those meatheads that just lift weights and doesn't do any cardio and doesn't have any sort of cardiovascular system. His cardiovascular system is super inefficient. We don't want that. The general recommendation, and like I said, again, this is a general recommendation. This might not be where you're at, but the general recommendation is to get 150 minutes of aerobic cardio each week. That might sound like a lot, and it is a lot, and maybe you're not there right now. That's something you can work up to. Alyssa can kind of talk about ways to get up to that, how to split that up, and what that looks like to structure cardio in your program.
Yeah, so like you said, that sounds like a lot for some people up front, and some ways to break that down can be, if you divide that into 5 days, that's 30 minutes a day, which also can feel like a lot in one sitting. So what I recommend for people is you can break that up in 3 parts of your day even. So if you're new to getting in more movement and you're feeling overwhelmed by that 30-minute mark, you can set an alarm on your phone 3 times throughout the day where you get up and you do 10 minutes each, where you just go outside, go for a walk, or you hop on the bike for 10 minutes during your lunch break. And then eventually, as that gets to be easier, you can split that in half and do 15-minute segments. And then eventually, you'll be able to get to that 30 minutes 5 days of the week. Or you can even split that up into 7 days of the week. It can be so different for everyone depending on what you have as far as availability and how advanced you are with, working out and how advanced your cardiovascular system is. But and what you have accessible. So if you don't have any gym equipment, it doesn't hurt to just go outside, go for a walk, take your kids outside, get some fresh air, get some vitamin D, or strap on your running shoes and, start to get into running. And like I said, it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be super intense. Obviously, we've talked about, cardio and the level of intensity that you can get to with training for races like we have. So this can be so broad and different and look so different for each individual.
Yeah. Cardio, when we talk about this cardio and we're talking about 150 minutes of aerobic cardio, that is your lower intensity cardio. So like Alyssa was mentioning, like walking, light jogging, biking, like not really high intensity. And where you'd want to structure this, say that you're going to do it within your workouts. You're going to do your strength training and cardio in one session. Always start with your strength first, finish with your cardio, or say that it's a completely separate session. So you're going to do a strength training workout, and then maybe in the evening, you're going to go for a run or a walk, or you're just going to hop on a bike that you have at home. That's perfectly fine. Always start with the strength training first.
Yeah.
And like Alyssa said, this is something that you can start to build up to. You might not be at 150 minutes each week right now. If we told you, hey, go strength train 4 days a week and do 150 minutes of cardio and you're currently doing nothing, that's going to feel super overwhelming. So maybe you just start off with 15 minutes, 4 days a week. That gives you 60 minutes. And then you can start to increase it over time. I do believe in stepping stones with fitness because, again, if I throw all these things at you at once, yeah, that's great. It might be the perfect program, but are you ready for that program? So you have to ask yourself, like, what am I ready for? What does my current lifestyle look like? What are my current goals? What can I really handle? And then create a program around that.
Yeah, I think that kind of reminds me of like dieting, for instance. We're not going to cut everything cold turkey. I mean, if you can do that, that's fabulous. But most of the population cannot just be like, I'm never eating sugar again, and boom, cut cold turkey.
Yeah.
Or if you have, an alcohol or, drug addiction or totally irrelevant, but it's not something you can just totally cut cold turkey. You have to kind of ease out of that. So it's kind of the same thing as far as cardio. You can't just throw a bunch at once and expect to continue to perform that. You have to ease into it.
Yeah, really, it's like an old ship. Like it takes time to turn that ship in the ocean. It's not this like quick, like zero turn lawnmower type movement. Like it takes some time. So
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine.
Jumping into the third non-negotiable, we are going to be talking about protein. Protein is key to building muscle and recovering. Obviously, we've talked about this so much in our podcast and our YouTube channels as well, but making sure that you're getting 1 gram per body weight of protein a day and that we're splitting that up throughout our meals. So we're not just throwing that in one meal and having all that protein at once. It's something that we spread out throughout the day. It's going to help balance blood sugar levels and keep us full and satiated for longer periods of time as well.
Yeah, protein is crucial. It's going to help you repair your muscles. So you're putting together this strength training workout, you're lifting heavy, you're overloading. There's going to be fatigue that happens from that. So you have to have enough because the protein is going to be broken down. Those amino acids are going to help repair your muscle tissue. I just started working with this new online training client a couple of days ago. And, overall, like things were going pretty good. He, had some good structure, but just making some minor tweaks to his program and minor tweaks to his nutrition. And one of the things that I tweaked was the amount of times that he's eating per day. And I think a lot of people, they know that they need to eat enough protein, but they're going to try and cram it, like Alyssa said, into like 2 meals. That's not going to work long term. You're also not going to feel very good. So say you're 200 pounds, you're eating 200 grams of protein. That's 100 meals that's 100 grams of protein at each meal.
And
So
your body does not digest.
yeah, that's not going to feel good. So instead, say you're 200 pounds and you're trying to get 200 grams of protein, eat 5 times a day, have 3 meals and 2 snacks, and you're going to aim to get 40 grams of protein at each meal and each snack. That's a lot easier than trying to get 100 grams in one sitting. Like, you got to eat a lot of chicken breast for 100 grams of protein. So it makes it a little bit
Lean.
more manageable. Yeah, exactly. And then
Gotta be
hit your
lean.
macros too. So it makes it a lot more manageable. The breakfast, lunch, and dinner, try to stick to whole food protein. So you're trying to eat eggs, chicken, beef, fish,
Yogurt.
yogurt, cottage cheese, that type of stuff. Your snacks, you could also mix in like cottage cheese, Greek yogurt. That's where protein bars and protein shakes also come into play. So the way that I'll always do it, midday, when I'm kind of back to back with training sessions here at the gym, I'll always mix up 2 scoops of our Fit Grind Whey protein, throw that down the hatch real quick. That gives me 48 grams of protein. And then that allows me to stay consistent. Whereas if I don't have that shake midday, I eat my protein at breakfast, I eat my protein at lunch, but then I start to play catch up, and that's not what we want to do. So, and then I'll also do another protein shake after my workout in the afternoon, again, to boost my total protein that I'm eating throughout the day to where I can get my total amount, because I'm 210, 215 pounds right now, and I'm trying to get that amount of protein every day. Eating it through whole food can be very hard. So if you are looking for a great protein powder, give our Fit Grind Whey protein a shot. It is currently 25% off during our 4-year anniversary sale. So if you're looking for a new protein to try out, give ours a shot. It's got 7 ingredients, 24 grams of protein, and 0 added sugar, and it also tastes freaking awesome. So give it a shot. Link is in the description below, fitgrindformula.com.
Yeah, and something I also wanted to mention that you brought up is, supplementing the protein shake post-workout is not the only way to incorporate the protein powder. You can, like Jordan said, if he's trying to get in 215 grams of protein, that's a lot of chicken breast, like you said, and lean meat that you have to get in. So adding in a supplement like this is going to help you get to that goal. So having a shake before bed, and that's going to help you throughout the night. We are not eating anything. Obviously, our bodies need still some fuel to get us through the evening. And we're fasting essentially for 8 hours. So if you're having a protein shake, that's going to help with that muscle building process as well. And you can mix it with some milk too to add in some fat and keep you full and satiated for longer periods of time as well.
Yeah, exactly. So protein, non-negotiable, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight every single day. Our 4th tip is all about flexibility and mobility. And so many people slack on this. It's so easy to forget about this because a lot of times the flexibility training is going to come towards the end of the workout if you're doing more static training or flexibility type stuff. And it's so easy to say, all right, the workout's done, I'm going to head out now. So we can kind of go through that. Again, I think why people don't do it consistently is because you see so much content online about these are the 10 best stretches to do these mobility movements, do this mobility workout. And it can be long and time consuming and tedious. But I think the best way to structure it is just pick a couple.
Yes.
At the end of your workout, just pick maybe two mobility stretches that you're going to do. Over time, that's going to add up. Alyssa is freaking queen mobility. So I'm going to let her take over here. This is her area of expertise.
Yeah, I think in the beginning of the workout, we're focusing more on a dynamic warm-up, which we have shared with you guys before too, what that looks like. But depending on what you're hitting that day, so if you're hitting a lower body workout, you can pick a couple movements to help prep and prime those muscles before hopping into those bigger compound movements and then getting into those isolation movements. And then we're finishing with a static stretch where we're holding for 60 to 90 seconds. And same thing, if we hit lower body, our static stretching is going to be lower body focused. And if it's upper body, we're focusing on upper body static holds.
Yeah, keep your static stretching towards the end of the workout dynamic at the beginning. That's going to help increase muscle power. It's It's going to help increase actual like muscle temperature. So getting your muscles warm, getting some blood to those muscles. But it's something that, again, I always think about this long term down the road. I wouldn't say that I'm the most like flexible or mobile person, but I do still work on my dynamic warm up. I could be better about staying consistent with my flexibility, mobility stuff at the end of the workout. But looking down the road, like long term, I don't want to be this old man that can't move and is stiff
I
and
won't let
tight.
that
And
happen.
no, I won't let it happen either. But, you got to think about that long term. All the things that we're doing right now are going to serve us for better or for worse down the road. So,
Right.
yes, we want to strength train and build muscle. Yes, we want to do cardio and burn fat. And we want to take our shirt off at the pool or put our bikini on at the pool and we want to feel confident and good. Yes, I understand that. But we also have to move well. We have to be functional. And we have to think long-term longevity down the road. What does my life look like at 60, 70, 80 based on the things that I'm doing right now? And if you're doing things that are not going to make for good outcomes down the road when you're in your 60s, 70s, and 80s, make the change right now, today. Like stop wasting time. Stop saying, I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm going to start the diet tomorrow. I'm going to start the workouts tomorrow. You don't have to have all the answers, but you have to freaking start. So think about your health. It is so important. Think about your longevity. And the things that we're talking about today are going to be the right steps in the right direction to live a long, healthy, functional, high quality of life.
Absolutely. And those mobility movements, if you feel overwhelmed and you only have a short period of time for your workouts and you can't get it all in, you can implement this throughout the day. But if you're like me, I like to put it all together at once and incorporate it into my strength training programming because it goes hand in hand. But another thing I want to mention too is if I wake up, the next day after a intense workout and I'm like, my body's feeling really achy, and I did this yesterday actually. I had some time in between sessions and I just went for a walk on the treadmill and I did some mobility, flexibility movements, instantly took away that discomfort that I was having in my hips and my lower back. But implementing it throughout the day is huge. I tell a lot of my clients that too. If you're somebody who sits at a desk and your back and your hips and your neck hurt because you're like this on a computer all day and you're sitting for long periods of time, set an alarm. Even if you've already done your workout in the morning, you've already got your movement in for the day, still set that alarm midday, get in some stretching and mobility, and you're going to feel so much better. You're going to be less likely to tense up and feel achy throughout the rest of the day too.
Yeah, it's huge. Like imagine training really hard and then never focusing on mobility or flexibility. You're going to snap your shit up somewhere. Like
Yeah.
maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but somewhere you're going to snap your shit up. So
Yeah.
super important. One last thing I wanted to touch on this one before we move into our last tip. If you're doing mobility and flexibility type exercises that are more static at the end of your workout, you want to hold it for long enough. So one big mistake I think I see people do is they'll do like 30-second holds. I'm going to do a 30-second pigeon stretch or a 30-second chair stretch or a 30-second lat stretch. You need to be holding it for longer than 30 seconds. I would ideally recommend 90 seconds to 2 minutes. That's what's going to help actually get the muscle to lengthen out,
Release.
stretch, and release. Yeah, this 20, 30-second hold can be good for short-term mobility changes. So say like mid-workout or before the workout, you want to do like just a little static stretching. My hips are a little tight. I'm going to do like a 30-second pigeon stretch or a 30-second chair stretch or kind of dynamically move through my stretch while I'm doing it.
Mhm.
That's fine. But at the end of the workout, if you're actually looking to see changes, 90 seconds to 2 minutes is the way to go. Each side on each stretch. That's what's going to help the muscle release and really focus on lengthening out those muscles. We're contracting those muscles. We're shortening them during the workout. We got to make sure that we lengthen them after the workout.
And allow you to get that more of a release and get a deeper stretch too when you're holding for longer periods of time.
Yeah. So last tip, last non-negotiable is having
Mm.
one scoop of greens every single day. This is something that, you might be like, oh, you're trying to promote your supplements. Yes, but
Mm.
also it's something that we firmly believe in. And the main goal that we should always focus on with our workouts and with our fitness is our health. And I would venture out to say that 80 to 90% of the people that are listening to this podcast right now do not get more than 5 servings of leafy green vegetables every single day. So if you are somebody that gets more than 5 servings of leafy green vegetables, freaking props to you. I want you to comment down below and let us know about it, because I don't get 5 servings of leafy green vegetables. I don't know how I could get 5 servings of leafy green vegetables. Props to you. We need to have you on the podcast because that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But that's what our greens powder gives you, is more than 5 servings of leafy green vegetables, digestive enzymes, probiotics. These are the micronutrients that our body needs to maintain so many functions that our body needs these micronutrients for. And a lot of people are just walking around deficient in micronutrients. So we might look really healthy on the outside. We got a washboard 6-pack. We're strong. We're jacked. But on the inside, what's going on? So it is super important. 1 scoop every single day. Listen kind of talk about how she mixes up her greens. We kind of do it. Actually, we do it similar now.
Yeah.
But 1 scoop every single day. It's a mixed berry flavor, has 0 added sugar, naturally sweetened, and is going to help you feel so much better by actually getting the micronutrients that your body needs.
Yeah. Before I kind of jump into how I mix mine up, couple things I want to mention too is we're taking greens for immunity health too. So if you get sick often, or, you have little kids that, get sick often too, this is a supplement that will help you and boost your immunity system. And you can give it to your kids too. So, there's more benefits than just, getting in the greens daily. It's digestive health as well. And I'm somebody who struggles with, going to the bathroom regularly. I'm very open about that. But this is something that has helped me be more regular. So, and I know Jordan's mentioned he's noticed his hair at one point was like kind of like shedding more often. And you said,
Yeah, the gym stress.
yeah,
Gym stress is real, and parent stress. And like I said, I don't eat 5 servings of leafy green vegetables on a daily basis. I plain and simple, I just don't. So
yeah,
yeah, and my hair was falling out like crazy. So ever since I started taking this product and we sampled it, and we created it selfishly because we want to take a greens product as well. Ever since I started taking it consistently, I've noticed far less hair loss. So that was never the intended outcome, but it's just a benefit that I've noticed. And that's awesome, because like hair loss at 28 years old, I know that's probably fairly normal, but I'm like, man, I don't want to like start losing my hair. And I always take a lot of pride in my hair, which I freaking need a haircut right now. It's so long, but that's besides the point.
it's growing.
It's growing. Yes, it's growing.
And that's the sign.
That's great. Yes.
So, kind of going back to what you asked earlier, how we mix the greens or how I mix the greens. And I know you do this similar. I'll take like our Fit Grind shaker cup and fill it all the way up, and I'll do a scoop of greens and then a scoop of electrolytes. Now, you can do these together or separately, depending on the day. Sometimes I will take them separately. If I'm doing an intense cardio session, I will have my electrolytes by themselves. I like to have my greens at night as a nightly kind of treat after dinner. But there's no wrong time to take a green supplement or an electrolyte essentially. But typically, you could take it in the morning after you've had your cup of coffee. You could take it throughout the day after your lunch. If you're, notice you didn't pack a vegetable for the day, which sometimes that's something that I didn't have time to do. So sometimes I'll supplement that as my greens. But I definitely notice this supplement to help me overall and helps me feel good. Like I said, it helps me with digestion for sure. You've noticed some other things as well. So I think it just kind of depends on the person and what you're lacking. But this supplement is definitely something that we take a lot of pride in, and we would not be promoting something that we didn't feel was beneficial.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And like you said, 1 scoop a day, wherever you can be consistent with it. A lot of times what I've been doing lately is actually I'll do a scoop of electrolytes after my workout, especially because I just sweat like crazy. And I'll mix my electrolytes with my greens after my workout. That's where I've just been really consistent with it. But 1 scoop a day gives you all the micronutrients and vegetables that you need, the leafy green vegetables. So if you guys would like to try out any of our supplements, our mixed berry greens, our pink starburst electrolyte, or our chocolate delight whey protein, Like I said, everything is 25% off right now with our 4-year anniversary sale. This is kind of just our way of saying thank you. And it's never been a better time to try out our supplements. So if you'd like to try it out and support the brand, fitgrindformula.com, you can save 25% off your entire purchase with the code GRIND25. So these are our 5 fitness non-negotiables. If you guys have questions, let us know down in the comment section below, and we would be happy to help any way that we can. But these are 5 things that you should be doing every single day, every single week to not only build muscle, build strength, lose body fat, but also improve your health and have a good, high quality of life.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys too. If there's something that you're doing that we didn't cover, we'd comment below and share with us something that you are incorporating in your own fitness non-negotiable.
Yeah, so thanks for listening, guys, and we will see you guys in the next one.